When I first went to prison, I thought my life was over.
And the world in which you dwell's no paradise.
It was just beginning.
I can't be here.
Why don't we go to the movies? One of them I'll never forget.
And now we welcome Kiss of the Spider Woman, Bill Condon and Tonatiuh. Welcome to the show, you two.
Yeah.
Okay, Tonatiuh, I want to know, because your character was so strong throughout. It was this leading queer character. I want to know how you stepped into that. Was there any of your personal experiences that led you to lead this so seriously?
Absolutely. No, 100%. I mean, if you look at it, it's not just an opportunity for centering a Latin character as a lead, but it's also looking at a person who is genderqueer, right? And there's a certain level of responsibility when it comes to representing that. I have an entire career of holding those truths, but with Molina specifically, I kept asking myself, how do I enter this conversation into the country, and how can we center Molina and decentralize their identity is there, but I don't want that to be the topic. I want you to fall in love with their humanity, because at the end of the day, their form is so far less interesting than the person living behind that.
And Bill, how did you manage to keep the fantasy and reality with this film and understand what to cut and what to keep in from the original play?
It's true. It was always a question, and there's frankly one number I shot that I thought didn't work for that reason. You know, it came deep into the movie at a very, very dark and emotional moment, and it was meant to be Molina taking that moment and imagining it in the film, and it was like, no, we're past that. You know, I think these two characters have care too much about each other now. He cares too much about Valentine to suddenly be putting him in that movie. So you learn those things when you put it together. But mostly, thank God, the rest of it, I thought made sense when it was all edited.
Tonatiuh, what personal aspects of your life did you lean into for your role?
I mean, I always joke around that when people ask me, why did you become an actor? I would say that my acting is a trauma response. You learn to code switch quickly in life in order to survive. And I think that there's a certain level that Molina does that to an extent. They lean on their comedy in order to protect themselves, because physically they may not be able to. But what this film really afforded me was a reminder that the totality of my expression is my superpower. To be able to oscillate from masculinity to femininity and everything in between is what makes life beautiful. And so if I was able to do that in one night, like 2-hour film, what can people at home do whenever they want, right? That's the beauty of being alive.
Thank you both so much for coming on. You have a fan in me.